United Methodist Human Services of Johnstown got its start after the 1977 flood. The Franklin Street Food Pantry was started as a response to the flood, and a woman named Jane Fuge was hired to work with the flood recovery. As the need for disaster relief started to wind down, Jane saw that there were still a lot of needs in the community that were not being met. It was at that point that the agency officially formed, and Jane was hired as our first director. The Franklin Street Food Pantry, our very first program, runs once a week on Tuesday mornings.
I'm Barbara Hunt, and I'm director of the food pantry for Franklin Street United Methodist Church, which is sponsored by the United Methodist Human Services. And what we do is we try to help provide food for those who need it. We're here every week, every Tuesday, from 9 to 11:45, and we provide 3 to 6 bags of food, depending on how many's in the family. We have a very big area that we cover, and we have to make sure that we're serving the people that we get the grant for. The people that volunteer to help pack the food and distribute the food, it comes from different churches in the area. They sign them in at what we call the intake table, and we call it up to the people on stage and tell them, okay, we have 1 or 2 in the family, we have 5 in the family, and then they pack the bags accordingly. And so we have the guys carry the food up to the top of the stairs to the street level for them. We're always in need to serve the people. We serve approximately 200 families a month, and that turns into between 400 and 500 people that we service in just our pantry. And so it takes a lot of money to service that many people. I feel that this is my calling from God, that where He wants me to be, and every time I need something, He's provided it. And so you know that that has to be a God thing.
Through some of our other programs, we're able to provide under-resourced parents of young children with diapers and wipes, blankets, clothing, and other essentials, as well as winter hats and gloves and personal care items to under-resourced individuals in our community. Another program of UMHS is Project Shoes. Project Shoes provides new, well-fitting, seasonally appropriate footwear to under-resourced children in over 40 area schools, as well as CYS, IU08, and other independent agencies in our community. We have a contact person at each of these locations, usually a guidance counselor or school nurse, and when the contact person identifies a child in need of shoes, they contact us and we supply them with a one-time use gift card to Payless Shoe Source so that the child can get the shoes or boots that they need.
Project Shoes has had a great impact on our school. Our students, about 80 to 85% of our students are low-income families, so we have lots of challenges with basic human needs being met, with shoes being one of them. So the ability to provide shoes to students that otherwise wouldn't have them is extremely helpful, and we're very grateful for that. Specific situation that really caught my attention with regard to this program, one of the second grade teachers called me and she said, please tell me you have a Payless card in your office. And she said, there's a student in my class that just raised his hand and he asked for glue and tape. And when I said, what do you need glue and tape for? He showed me that the entire sole of his shoe fell off and he wanted to repair it because that was the only pair that he had. When the students get the new shoes, they're always so excited. They're overwhelmed with joy when they get a brand new pair of shoes, especially if it's a student that's used to having hand-me-down items, or if it's the start of a school year and they wouldn't have otherwise had new shoes. When they get them, they're always thankful and appreciative, and the expression on their face just says it all. For somebody that thinks there's not a need for Project Shoes, I would like them to walk a mile in somebody else's shoes, to spend some time in our school or in some of the other local schools to see the need firsthand, to talk to the families when they're telling you their situations, their hardships. We have students that are homeless. We have students that have 8, 10 kids living in a home doubled up. We have people that are single parents working 2 or 3 jobs just trying to get by. There's a need. There's a definite need.
Each year, the demand for Project Shoes grows, which is a clear indication that there's a definite need for the program in our community. Another one of our bigger programs is Getting Ahead, part of our Bridges to Success network. Getting Ahead allows individuals who are living in low-income or poverty situations to stabilize their circumstances by setting goals, building resources, and navigating their pathways toward a more sustainable future.
Participants are given the opportunity to identify where they are and where they want to be and to make a plan to get there. Groups meet for about 16 weeks. They share, meal, and work together to find strategies and solutions for the obstacles they face. Everyone has something to offer, and through Getting Ahead, participants are given the opportunity to bring their knowledge, skills, and experiences to the table in a way that's powerful and life-changing. People don't end up in poverty or low-income situations simply because of poor choices or lack of motivation. Some participants are working 2 jobs and have 2 or more children, and also have a spouse who is working 2 jobs as well.
My name is Jen. I am a mother. I work several part-time jobs. I take care of my kids most days. I'm active in my church. I'm a pastor's wife, and I'm just looking for the next step.
Hi, my name is Alicia Delosier. I've been in the Getting Ahead program for 6 weeks. I came here because I was a single mom. I recently got married. I was battling with drug addiction. I've been sober for a year and 6 months now.
Often people in these situations are making decisions just for the moment in order to get by and do not have the chance to look ahead at new options. Through Getting Ahead, participants will identify 3 personal goals that will lead to a new future story for themselves and their families. Through the process, participants develop new relationships, make discoveries about themselves and available resources, and share in the journey together by encouraging each other.
I really didn't know what Getting Ahead was going to be like. I didn't have any expectations. I knew there was a book involved and some food, and I was really excited. But after taking the class, it went beyond that. There was a book, there was food, but I learned so much more, and I met so many great people too.
Because I've met some really great people that I probably wouldn't have interacted with otherwise. Learned some tips and tricks, things that even if you're not sure, I wasn't sure that I would fit into this group or that I really needed it, or, you know, and coming in, I feel like everybody, even people who think, oh, well, I'm not in poverty. I mean, you might be surprised when you learn the real numbers how much you're just barely getting by, you know, especially with debt and people and credit cards, free reign. So just do it, just jump in.
I would tell anybody who's even thinking about this course to take it. Even people who aren't in poverty or who are just middle class, it will teach you so much. It'll teach you how to manage your money to, you know, get where you want to be on your own stepping stones.
After participants graduate Getting Ahead, they can move into our Staying Ahead program. We have bi-monthly networking groups for them to attend, and we also offer several classes that allow them to continue developing in different areas of resource. One of those classes is Bridges Financial Management.
Hi, my name is Henry Kaba, and I got involved with the Bridges to Financial Management class through the Getting Ahead network. The emphasis that's put on the personal responsibility was the thing that really attracted me the most. Just knowing that there are options out there, that there are resources out there, because you hear about them, but being introduced to them and having them explained to you brings it to another level. Understanding the importance of credit, especially in today's society, you know what I mean, that it's not really just about money, you know what I mean, it's about your business interactions with these institutions, you know what I mean, and what you're saying to them when you have good credit, when you're responsible with your credit. You know what I mean, having these resources available to you lets you know that, one, the resources are there, but then I have a personal responsibility to pursue them and to take action. So you come to get help, you come to find out what the resources are, but then you hear these personal stories, and I think whenever there's personal attachment to something. It brings different meaning, you know what I mean? And I think that helped me engage more and to really lean in and listen more, you know what I mean, and to take it at a different approach.
After she retired, Jane Fuge wrote a narrative about her time serving with the agency. She said, "I am most pleased with the spirit that has dominated from the very beginning, and this is the ability to recognize the needs of the community, meet the challenge of the needs, and change as the needs demand." This ability, along with the spirit of the churches working together for a common goal, makes UMHS what it is today and will be for years to come. Even now, many years after those words were written, and even many more years after the agency began, the ability that Jane wrote about, the ability to recognize and meet the needs of the community, and the wisdom and flexibility to change in a way that meets those needs, is a huge reason that United Methodist Human Services is and has been a catalyst for change in the Johnstown area, and as Jane wrote, it will continue to be for many years to come.